Welcome to Alley Chats. Today I have Ben Miller with me. Ben has been on a number of our shows. Hey, Ben. He did when we did Live at the Blue Box. You came out and did Artist Alley there, which was kind of the predecessor to this show. We've had you on Go Fund This, which we're going to talk about. You have another Kickstarter about to happen, but we'll get there. I'm planting the seeds, I'm burying the lead on it. But Ben, this today is all about you. So hi, Ben.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So I'm walking through Artist Alley. I see my buddy Ben. I've got somebody with me that he doesn't recognize, and I go, "Oh, hey, this is Ben Miller. This is Guerilla Publishing. Hey, Ben, fill him in on who you are, what you do."
I'm a writer. I am 1/3 of Guerilla Publishing. I've written couple graphic novels, one shots, and then, in several, anthologies, comic writer mostly. That's kind of what I do. And I've been lucky enough to work with some really talented people and some, been able to bring together, some groups here. And a lot of the people we work with are in Northwest Indiana where I live. So it's just been kind of cool to bring that scene up a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of a hotbed around there. You've got really, really good people around you.
Yeah, we're real lucky. We've got, the first person I worked with was Corey Hampshire, from Marvel and stuff like that. But then Julio Guerra and Adam Farster, my two partners. And then now Ashley Esper's doing stuff. And, Bill Hallier, who's been in the industry for years and does professional storyboarding, is here in Northwest Indiana. And I really have to thank Brian from NWI for kind of bringing us all together. Because we were all doing stuff, but we didn't really know about each other.
Yeah, the connection hadn't been made yet.
And, he started doing these drink-in draws, and doing the convention itself. And we kind of all started, coming together and knowing each other and working together and stuff like that. So without him and without that con, which is coming back this year at the Lake County Fairgrounds instead of, so it's bigger. I don't know that we would all come together the way we did, but I think it really fostered the community and helped the community grow here.
I love that.
Creators and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that. Well, we kind of did that with our Live at the Blue Box stuff when we had our microcons. There are definitely some love connections that happen there. I'll never forget the one where Rebecca Rothschild, who's fantastic. She writes War Shiner, just a great book. And she's sitting there, and I've got Tango Comics sitting there, and I'm talking to Tango Comics. I'm really good friends with those guys. And she says, my dream is to work for Tango Comics. And they're like, what? She goes, I've been dreaming about it for so long. And right there, they're like, okay, well, let's drop a contract and let's do this thing. I mean, boom. And it was that connection. I love that. So I love to hear that. I'm going to have to interview your buddy because I think we'd have a lot to talk about.
At Live at the Blue Box, I met Jack and Maria.
And they were in Cryptic Closet too, weren't they?
They were in Cryptic Closet too. And actually, I'm going to be performing the naming set because I'm also an ordained minister. I'm going to be doing the naming ceremony for their child.
Excellent.
Coming up.
Excellent, man. Yeah, they had a beautiful baby. Yeah. They are such awesome people. I'm thrilled for them. You know what? I got to call Maria. I got to get them on this show. I've interviewed them a bunch at Live at the Blue Box, but I've never interviewed them on Alley Chat. So they're so great. And they have some really, really interesting books and just super talented.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I'm an ordained minister too. I've got through Universal Life Church, which I'm sure what you have, right? And then
no, actually,
are you actual?
I went to Moody Bible Institute.
You're legit. Okay.
And I got ordained.
Okay. Yeah. I'm ordained light then. I'm Universal Life Church and I'm a Dudist minister in the Church of the Dude. So that one's the best because I can wear a robe while I do my ceremonies there. So want to get married by the Dude, I can do it. So I digress. Let's talk about your stuff. One of your books that I absolutely love that I've talked to you about before and I want to ask about is Judges.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that still happening?
I did the first book. And it first came out as a 4-issue miniseries, and then I did the trade and collected it. I've been bouncing around the ideas. I mean, I kind of left the end open-ended.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because I read the first 4 and I loved it, but it left me waiting.
Yeah, I've been talking about doing more of that. Part of the issue is like, I would probably have to get a new artist because Corey is just so busy with Marvel stuff right now. I mean,
sure.
And I can't compete with that pay rate.
Really? Not yet.
And so I would have to probably get a new artist on the book. But I've been bouncing around some ideas about possibly doing more of that. As you may or may not know, kind of came out of the book of Judges from the Bible, like the characters have same names or some story similarities. And, like I said, I went to Bible school for 4 years. I still work in the ministry with kids here in Gary. Cool. So, that was kind of part of it, but I also wanted to make it accessible to everyone. And so the premise of the book is just that the most evil people in the world are demons in disguise. It kind of starts from a philosophical question of, you see somebody do something that's just purely evil, not, like murdering like thousands of people. And you're like, how does a person get to that level? Well, what if they're not a person? What if they're a demon?
What if they're a demon? Yeah, that makes total sense.
Why they act the way they do, And so I used real people from world events, kind of as those characters and stuff. So it was a lot of fun to write. It was a big learning experience. Working with Corey, it was good to have a veteran because he's like, man, like you need to cut down on these panel descriptions, like. Because I would describe what each and every character was wearing exactly, even if they're not important. And he's like, I can do this, but it's going to take a lot longer. It kind of taught me how to have a working relationship with an artist.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them the story that I want, but I'm not hampering their creativity and their input on the story. Because comics really need to be collaborative.
Right.
And you need to give that artist enough room to breathe and bring the story to life kind of in their own way. Instead of just having a mental image in your head of this is what exactly each panel has to look like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like directing, because I've done a fair amount of directing. Same thing. You got to give the actors room to breathe. You got to give your cinematographer room to breathe. That's what makes the magic. Because if it's all you, sure, great. Your ego's real happy about it, but it doesn't give you the best possible product every time.
Right. Because you're not, if you're hampering other people's artistic output, you're not going to get their best stuff.
Right.
So you have to allow them to have input and feel like they're doing something that they can feel like that they've contributed to more than just, regurgitating your vision.
So if you're not writing Judges right now, which I'm going to urge you to do, I want it to come back. I love it. What book are you working on? I know you're doing these anthologies, but do you have anything that's your book?
I've written some things. I don't know if they'll come out.
Okay.
They're ready. I've written a kid's book. I've written, started writing another kind of crime story that I was thinking about doing. And I have started writing some more Judges and stuff like that. So I don't know for sure. It's all about kind of what I'm feeling is next.
Sure. So if I walked up to your booth, I'm walking up to talk about Guerilla Publishing, which is amazing.
We have been very lucky and blessed that we were friends first. Yeah. And we loved this medium. And so it's like, hey, let's do this thing together. You know what I mean? Let's do this thing. And then, so it started out, Julio and I and Adam would do table together at convention, to kind of save money. Right. And then at one point we're just like, why don't we, join forces? And it's funny because we say all three of us are co-founders. Adam didn't come on right away, although Adam did the logo. He's like, well, I don't think I can be involved. And he did the logo. He did all the website. He's doing all the work. He's like, at one point, he's like, you know what? Maybe I should be a part of this. And we're like, dude, you already are. You're just doing all the work, and you're not the named partner.
Yeah, like his fingerprints are all over the whole company, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's all over everything. Like you've been there from the beginning. It's just you didn't want to be a named partner, so we brought him, technically on, even though he was, always there. And then we just started doing stuff, and then, partnering with Vinny from Cryptic Closet and bringing in, Ashley is going to have a book coming out with us, Ashley
cool.
Esper. We just had a meeting about that, and we're looking forward to that. We are talking with, just a bunch of different, we've brought in, we might be working with Jack and Maria. We might be working with, just a bunch of different people. And so it's just kind of cool to, Matt Hansel's going to be doing a book with us from Underdog. So it's just been a lot of fun to kind of not just do creating, but me kind of doing the editor role and get some other people's stuff out there as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I love about Guerilla is how diverse it is, like not just in the people, but in the look. Like Deathbag looks different than Gunwork. You know what I mean? Like it's a completely different animal. It's not like when you look at okay, Marvel does a pretty good job now, but it used to be everything kind of looked similar. You tell great artists here and there, but they kind of had a look.
Everybody was trying to look like Jack Kirby.
Right. Image did a pretty good job, but it at the same time kind of had a look to it in the beginning. Now it's much better.
Right.
But you guys, it's even more. It's like, I'm looking here. Ashley's thing, Ralph's. Come on. Compared to Gunworks, we're talking light years difference.
Yeah.
Judges looks completely different than Dark Echo. And then you've got Cryptic Closet, which is such a throwback, man. And it's so great. I'm a huge fan of that thing. I think I've said that before on other shows, but I really am. I love it.
Oh, I'm glad. The Cryptic Closet thing is funny because before Vinny and Julio were even working together, they were friends. And they were kind of just hanging around, and Vinny has a horror themed t-shirt company that he does as a side gig. Now they both work for professional pro wrestling tees as their main gig. And so him and Julio were just kind of talking like, how come nobody does any of those old EC Comics, horror anthologies anymore? And they're like, I don't know. And so they're like, well, we should do one. And then Julio's like, hey, we're going to do a horror anthology. I'm like, because like, there's so many times I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to do this. And then, it doesn't happen. And then all of a sudden this thing starts coming together and, people start writing stories and then artists coming together. And then for the first one, we got the Wrestler Killer Cross, first and second one, do the forward on the book. There's going to be another person.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
He's a little evil. He's a little nice, but he's going to be in the book. I'm really excited about it. He fits so perfectly in this book. It's ridiculous, but
nice.
Yeah. So, just all this stuff just kind of came together. I mean, and especially on the first two, like, I don't think Julio slept for like 3 months. Like he's emailing us at like 3:00 in the morning, like, hey guys, this needs to happen on Tales. And we're just like, dude, do you ever sleep? Like, so I did more this time, but he's done a lot and Adam's done a lot. That's the nice thing about having partners, because like when it comes to like, I'm not an artist at all. So like when it comes to design, stuff like that, I can't do anything. So, like Adam can design the Kickstarter page. I can write the copy for it.
Right.
Julio, does art for that and brings artists together. Julio's really good at getting artists.
He's a great connector.
Yeah, he's great at getting, and especially with artists, like getting them to do what they're supposed to do. Like if you can't work for Julio, then you need to get out of the business. Because he's the easiest person to work for. but he can still somehow get you to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So,
All right. So Cryptic Closet 3, you guys have a Kickstarter for it that's going to go up at the end of July.
July 28th.
July 28th. When is the launch for that? Because I know that you launch it before you make it live so that people can kind of get hyped about it.
Well,
or are you going to go live on the 28th?
We're going to go live on the 28th.
Okay.
I'll be at Creative Comics in Griffith, Indiana, to promote the launch. But we'll go live that day. You'll be able to back it that day. And I've kind of buried the lead here. You know, the first book was an anthology and it was fun. And the second book, like, it just blew up and, you know, everybody wanted to be in it. So it was thick. You know, we did like 70 pages or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then the third book, we're like, we got to step it up. So it's going to be in 3D.
Yes. Well, and of course it's horror. So when you get to 3, it's got to be 3D,
It's got to be 3D. You're going to get 3D glasses. So, you know, and, you know.
Now, at which point does it become personal? Is it 3 or 4?
I don't know. I'm bouncing some ideas off 4 that's going to make Julio's life even harder, but he has yet to respond.
In 4, Julio actually comes to your house and tells you the story and draws live. That's going to be nuts.
But so it's 3D. You get the 3D glasses, you know, they're, you know, have our design on the Cryptic, you know, Tales from the Cryptic Closet design on them. There's going to be a lot of the stuff. There's going to be shirts and there's going to be pins and everything else, like, you know, the normal Kickstarter fare. But we're just looking forward to it because it's kind of the culmination of what we've been doing for so long, and it's kind of our first thing post-COVID back.
Right.
You know, we're back. You know, you're all
back and you're strong with this. Yeah,
we're all ready to go. You know, we're gonna have cons again. Hopefully, people come to them.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
We've got Indiana and C2E2 coming up this year, and then going to go back into the circuit again next year. So,
well, and until then, or concurrent to then, because you still might get people that aren't comfortable with it, they can still go to your page. They can still buy stuff from you guys. Right. I'm sure they can reach out to, because you guys are so accessible. I'm sure they can, you know, contact Julio and they probably can get commissions from some of you guys. So that's the kind of stuff that, you know, you're such an open company. I'm going to tell everybody, follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook. It's Guerilla Publishing, Guerrilla, not Big Monkey Publishing. Okay.
Right.
And just they have such cool stuff coming in and going on. And Cryptic Closet 3, when this thing goes live, we will put it out there, not only on Go Fund This, but here on Alley Chats. We'll put it out on our social media because you guys got to fund this thing. You've got to get in on this, and they have great rewards. I interviewed Julio for Go Fund This, so you can listen to that closer to the date. This one will come out before that. I've already interviewed Julio about it. We talked all about like some of your, which are not announced yet, some of your stretch goals and things, and it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. I can't wait for Volume 3.
We're excited about it. Like I said, it's kind of our welcome back party kind of thing. Right. You know, and like you said, we try to be as open with anybody as we can. Because especially, you know, me, Adam, and Julio, we all remember what it's like being on the other side of the table. Right. You know, like being the guy that walks up like, how do I do this? Yep. How do I make a book? What do I need to do for my art? You know, and, you know, we are always open. If you email us at guerrillapublishingroup@gmail.com, we'll take a look at your portfolio. We do pitches. If you're going to email us, just email us first and ask for the submission agreement. We'll email you that, because otherwise it can get legally weird if we read something. We can't read it until we have a signed submission agreement, or else it's a problem for us. Right. But, you got to do it. You got to do it the right way. It's just like I had a friend that just submitted to SNL and had to make sure you're not just sending them scripts. You're not just inquire. You got to go through the right channels, because they're liable. If they read something and accidentally put one of your jokes in or put one of your ideas, you don't want to get stuck on that. So it's got to be through the right channels. Right. So, but like, if you just want to, hit us up and ask us, a few questions, we're always good for that. Because we want, like there's some people that like, we just want to make it to the top. We don't care how many people we step on to get there. But like, we feel like the rising tide lifts all boats. And so we kind of want to, if there's other people out there that want to do this thing, we want to do what we can to help them. Obviously, we can't publish everybody's book. We can't, put everybody's art in our books, but we do want to do what we can to encourage and help people, to be that, one thing I will say about all that is if you contact us and we tell you what you need to do to have us look at your art or have us look at your project, do what we say. Don't argue with us about how to approach us. Because if you do that, then we've already tuned you out.
Yeah, well, that's a good piece of advice for anybody. I mean, especially like when you're dealing with companies, when you're dealing with a podcast network, when people contact us, it's like, just do this. And if they don't do it that way, or if they argue with me, it's over. Yeah. I don't care what it is. We're not here for that. We got enough on our plate. So yeah, that's great advice, man. Great advice. So where can they find you on social media?
Well, they can follow us at Guerilla Publishing on Instagram, Guerilla _pub on Twitter. We have the Guerilla Publishing Group Facebook page. I don't actually have like my own Twitter and Instagram. I just
you just use Guerilla Publishing. Yeah,
Guerilla Publishing. Then I have a Facebook page that I use every once in a while.
Yeah, really, so we can talk on Messenger, and that's about it, right?
Right. I mean, like I post things, like once the Kickstarter comes out, I'll post things about that and stuff like that. But I just have been kind of doing less and less Facebook, just partially because I don't have a lot of time on my hands. But
right,
those are the places you can really find us. We also have our website, guerrillapublishingroup.com, and there's a link to our store. You can buy things there. I'm trying to remember what Adam's stuff is. I know Julio's is Arte de Guerra.
You don't have to worry about it. Everybody, you're going to have to listen to those shows, and I'll put those in the show notes, but you're going to have to listen to those episodes because they're all coming on. Okay. I'm really excited. It's like our summer of Guerrilla Publishing. We're going to have a bunch of you guys on.
Sounds great.
And if Matt Hansel doesn't come on, he's a friend of mine who was reached out, just like when I first started these shows and I reached out to you. I reached out to Matt. Matt was like, "Oh, I really want to come on. I really got to figure it out." Still haven't had him on. Then when he came to Guerilla, he said, "Oh man, I got to come on." I'm like, "Okay, we are getting Matt on here because Matt is awesome. What a great addition to your lineup too."
It's the amount that Matt knows about the history of comic book art.
It's nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like his knowledge of just comic books and comic book art in general is ridiculous.
I have a Matt Hansel. I don't know if you can see it. See the Batman one there?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Matt Hansel version of Batman, of doing the classic Batman. It's one of my favorite pieces that I have, and I have a ton of pieces here. I love it. That's why it's up on my wall. I absolutely love it. Matt he's fascinating to talk to, although we usually don't talk about comics. We talk about all sorts of stuff because he's so smart.
Yeah, he is.
Just a great guy, and his art is great, and he's just a great addition to your lineup. So congratulations, Guerilla Publishing, on getting Matt Hansel.
We are very happy to have him. Actually, we signed him up when he was doing the promo for that print that he did at Creative. We were all there talking to him, and
cool.
Like, I got this idea for this book. And we're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So Kickstarter launches on the 28th of July. One other thing I'm going to highlight. Free Comic Book Day, August 14th. Are you going to be there, or is it just going to be like Bill and Adam?
Okay, so I and Matt Hansel will be at Screaming Monkeys.
Okay.
I believe.
I'm looking at it here. Julio and Ashley are at Creative Comics 2.
In Monticello.
Yep.
And then Bill and Adam are at Creative Comics 1 in Griffith.
Okay, so make the rounds in Northern Indiana and meet all the Guerilla Publishing guys, get those signatures, get their books, buy their stuff, and you'll become super fans.
Exclusive print coming out that day. You'll be able to get for $10. It has basically all the artists who were involved in Free Comic Book Day have all their characters on there.
Oh, cool.
And so, yeah, like there's characters from Kanisha, there's characters Marty and Spud, there's characters from, Cryptic Closet, Death Bag, Dark Echo, everybody's on there.
Yeah.
So
you know what? If you go to your Instagram, if they go to Guerilla Publishing's Instagram, you've got a picture of it on there.
Yeah, we do.
It's really fantastic. That $10 is a steal. That is something that anyone who's even a casual fan is going to want to pick that one up.
Right. So if you like our stuff, we're gonna have. There's only 75. There's gonna be 25 at each location. 24 after I buy mine. So we're very excited about that day, and it'll be fun to kind of do it a little different because I've never really done stuff with Matt. I don't know that Ashley and Julio have ever tabled together, or Bill and Adam. So it's kind of fun to have that experience with somebody new.
That's really cool. That is really cool. Well, we'll definitely promote it on our end. We'll send stuff out. So make sure you tag us. And Ben, thank you so much for being on. Everybody, sure. Ben Miller, Guerilla Publishing, check out his stuff. Everything I said here about like Judges and anything Guerilla Publishing, I 100% mean. I love it. Love it all. I'm just so happy you guys are coming on and that you've been doing so great. And Cryptic Closet 3D, fund this thing.
Yes, please. Please do.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ben.
Thanks.
You can find Alley Chats on Facebook by searching for @AlleyChats. You can also visit us at our webpage, smgpods.com/alleychats, for links to all our episodes and other cool stuff. One easy way to support our show is to rate and review Alley Chats wherever you listen to your podcasts. Those ratings really help us out and help others find our show as well. Alley Chats is produced and edited by Rob Southgate for Southgate Media Group. Be sure to subscribe to Alley Chats because you definitely don't want to miss an episode. Thanks again to our affiliate sponsors, Hunt-A-Killer and Tweaked Audio. Links to them are on our webpage and in the show notes. This wouldn't be possible without them. Our theme song is by Benny and the No Goods. Check out their awesome music at bennyandthenogoods.bandcamp.com. If you're an artist or writer or creative type that would have a table at an artist alley and would like to be on Alley Chats, message us through the Facebook page or email us directly at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com and we'll set up an interview. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic show.